the question for today is, why do you think society treats male and female promiscuity differently?
Honestly, I think it's a result of trying to subordinate women. What do I mean by that? I think it's a result of trying to make sure that women are still treated as second-class citizens in comparison to men, and that's by limiting women's freedom. So like, men have the freedom to act however they please. So you can sleep with as many people as you want to, but then now by limiting the amount of people that women sleep with, and you do that by shaming women and by making women feel as if they lose their value by sleeping with more men, then you limit their freedom. And therefore, if I'm a woman who then chooses to not subject myself to those same norms and standards, let's say I choose that I want to free will, free love, then you are able to make me seem like I'm less than because I've chosen that way of life. It's just a way to kind of control women's bodies and control their status and standing in society.
You're like, having a higher body count as a nigga is an achievement. Having a higher body count as a woman is your whore.
We treat it differently because we know.
We know what?
We know. Like, a man and a woman, they're not the same.
Like, historically, men are the leaders of, like, societies, right? So to speak. And so, like, my initial thought is, okay, because men are generally have more power in society because they are the leaders, then that way, it's like men view other men's promiscuity differently than they'd view like women's, right? Why?
That's an interesting one. I think it's a cultural layover. And when I say a cultural layover, I mean it's a cultural layover that stems from an economic base. So after the enclosure system, there became a sort of need for the transference of wealth through generations to build up intergenerational wealth. And what this means is that when you have private property and private land, you want to pass that land to your next of kin, to your children. And the only way you could do that, in that times when, maternity tests and paternity tests didn't exist, is when you knew who the mother was. So it sort of incentivized a system where female promiscuity was disencouraged, because it wanted to ensure that the heirs to that wealth were the rightful heirs, and therefore created a system where the mother had to only be the mother of that specific father's children, so that those children could rightfully inherit the wealth from that father. And I think that still exists today. I mean, like, why it exists? It's because it's an economic question. Because if you want to start a business and you want to pass it off to your kids, you don't want someone who already has kids from other people. You want to be able to pass that. I'm not making a value judgment on whether it's good or not, but you want to pass it on to your children and to perpetuate that and create intergenerational wealth. And that's why it's...
Why I ask why is like, because obviously we advance and there's measures to prevent that. Why do you think society still views it despite having so much preventative measures and etc.? So I don't... Because initially that was the thought process, but now even if the person doesn't have an offspring, they're protected, but they're just sleeping around. There's still a stigma associated with being a hoe or whatever. All those terms that I don't usually use.
Because men like to, men like to oppress women. I think that's, let's be honest. Men want to sleep around, and if they forget that the people they're sleeping around with are women, unless, they're gay or something.
Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing, well, maybe if we place a value judgment on women sleeping around, we need to have the same standards for men. You can't be saying men should be allowed to sleep around when women shouldn't be. But I think that's still a cultural layover from just how things used to be. Generations of the same idea being perpetuated in ideological circles will frame how people view things today. So I think it's just a cultural layover of how the economic base determines what sort of cultural things happen.
I think we are going through the transition of unlearning that, or not necessarily?
I think there might be an overcorrection in terms of we reached a society where promiscuity wasn't considered that bad, and people have started to instead slowly readjust it, have gone the exact opposite and said, no, we need to return to tradition and disallow all promiscuity. But like we're living in an era we have condoms, we've got, things for safe sex. So it's not as bad of an issue as I think it should be, but I think we're going back to how things used to be, because we're just overcorrecting the issue instead of meeting it where it should be.
We are in a sinful world, and because of that, I think things are not as God intended them to be. God intended male and female to be able to live in unity and not be sexualized either way.
I think they treat it differently due to the fact that we have normalized the fact that like men cheat. I feel like, in my opinion, I have normalized it. It's something that happens. So with women, it's kind of like degrading when it comes to a lady, because a lady is supposed to like, hold themselves to like a high regard. So I feel like that's why. Yeah, with guys, I mean, if you're promiscuous, it's like, it's good for your rep.
I think it's more generational and historical. I think because in the past, females assumed the role of a prize. So I think even though times have changed in today's times, I think that idea is still carried on, even though we don't do things the same way as we did in the past. So I think the female purity is really upheld over their what other else they have to offer.
Guys always say like if they had a son, they'd let the son do what they want, and then the girl, they're like, no, she's not gonna date and stuff. So I just think, it's just a lot of double standards.
A woman is a selector and a male is more of a competitor, because they are the ones having to chase after women. And so I think apparently even though things are also changing within that realm, but primarily sprinkle. But I think that because of that as well, like, we kind of uphold women in a higher standard because they're the ones having to choose from the whole lot. So males are more excusable for the things they do because, they're just trying to eat or be eaten. Whereas females, they kind of have to hold a higher standard. You're fighting for this woman, so they have to be top, Whereas a female, you are choosing from
Scraps.
They're picking out from the trash bag. So, that maybe could contribute to that, to those views, even though we live in a modern era.
A man and a woman, they're not the same.
Okay, they're different in multiple ways, but like sexual partners, how are they different in that capacity?
Like, not to say men treat women like objects or anything, but like every gent wants like a woman that he knows is not like popular in the gent side. You get what I mean?
Like every gent wants someone that has less experience or less bodies or less sexual partners in their life, essentially?
Basically that. Because, like sometimes when you're, as a gent, when you're working hard to achieve something, you want a woman that's going to be on your side. That could be like your prize.
But you can be on your side with 50 bodies.
But then now when you're walking around with the other niggas are going to be on some, look at that guy.
Well, what about the reverse? If she's walking around with you and like, look at that guy, I've seen his everything.
But it's different though.
How? That's what I'm asking.
A key that opens many doors.
Yeah. You're not gonna. So what you're saying is you think society has it right, and we should like treat being promiscuous differently when it comes to male and female, or?
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not one to judge. Anyone can have however many bodies they want.
Yeah.
But like, at most times, gents are gonna gravitate towards women that have lesser bodies.
Why? Why is the question? Why do we do that?
Because, okay, let me keep it a bean.
Okay.
Growing up, we were raised that like virginity was like the purity of a woman.
Okay.
So basically, we were taught that the closer she is to being like a virgin, that means she's way more closer to being pure.
Okay.
You get what I mean? Yeah, so basically, gents, we have spirits. So the more gents she's getting touched by, the more spirits she possesses.
Like soul ties.
Not precisely, but like something, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So now as a change, now when your woman has too many spirits in her body, then she comes to you, she's giving away those spirits, then your plans are not gonna work.
What about the spirits you get her? That's the thing. So everything you say can be used in the inverse. You don't get spirits, it's just
No.
women are collecting spirits and not guys.
But guys, you know what they do, We our spirits, like,
We ejaculate there.
oh, no. But yeah, bro.
Think it's the same thing?
What do you mean?
Like if a guy has a high body count versus a girl, do you
I
view it in the same light?
I think it's the exact same thing.
Okay.
To me, it does not matter.
Is body count an issue for you?
I mean, for safety-wise, I think as long as you're clean, there's no issue.
What? Really? Even,
I mean, it's not my fault that you had a past. You know what I mean?
but like, isn't the past telling of like your persona? Is it
I guess
not?
so,
Like,
but-
how did we get there?
Yeah, real. That's
Yeah.
real. I feel like everyone has a past. I'm not gonna hold it against you, but
Yeah.
as long as you're open about it, I don't want to find out from the community, the village, that
Yeah.
you now have
What-
hectic bodies.
What is a past that's a bit absurd? What number is a past that you like, ooh, maybe I don't want to know you anymore?
So I'm in first year, and people are obviously experimenting and stuff. But I feel
Yeah.
like we just got here, so if you have a body count higher than 5 or 7, I feel like that's
Okay. View your boys any differently when they have a higher body count versus like, let's say someone you're trying to date or
Yeah, kinda.
why?
Because like my boys are my boys, they can do whatever they want.
Okay.
But me, when I'm looking for a partner, I have a certain standard.
Okay.
And like, if they
have a
don't,
standard for your boys.
my boys are my boys. What they do with their sex life is not about me.
Okay, what about a female friend? Would you view her any differently if she was a thought?
No, I wouldn't. She could do
Really?
whatever she wants.
Okay. But,
She could be a whore. She could be a Virgin Mary. She could do whatever she wants.
but for your partner, you have different standards. Why?
It's preference.
Where did it stem from?
It stems from ideologies of like having a low body count makes you like more. What's the word? More attainable. More
Attainable.
not attainable. but
That's an interesting. Yeah.
more like more precious. Like
Pure.
pure. Yeah, that's the word.
Why do you say men? What?
It makes them look cool, basically. It makes them cooler.
So if I had like a higher body count, would you think I'm cool?
No, personally, no. Maybe other
And
people.
you?
Not me, but like
Society would think
society
I'm
in
cool.
general, yes, would think that you're like cool.
What's a cool number for a body count? What's a societal cool number?
I guess
Where am I at?
between 10 and 5 and 10, somewhere there. Yeah.
5.
Yeah, 5 and 10.
That's so low.
Between 5 and 10.
That's so low.
5.
No, higher than that. No. Can't go that high, no.
You said men cheat like women don't cheat. Well, why do you only like exclusively say?
Women cheat, ne? But like, they can cheat well, let me put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, you can hardly like,
Are you speaking from XP?
no.
How do you know they can cheat well?
She means it in the sense, Yogi.
Come closer.
She means it in the sense that women cheat better. Like men are most likely to be caught when they're cheating. And then the likelihood of a woman being caught when they're cheating, they're just so sweet.
Based off what? How do you know this? That's what I'm saying.
We
like,
cheat well. No, we don't.
How do you know? That's my thing. Like, where's the data of women being better cheaters? Like, how do you know? Speaking about,
Okay, I have this idea that women don't cheat because of lust or whatever. They just cheat to move on. So
cheat to move on.
Yes, in a way, it's like you're just looking for someone who's better.
Well, why didn't you just move on without cheating?
Because guys kind of accept the fact that it's over, so.
But then they accept it once you cheat?
Yeah, in a way, yes.
No,
I feel like once you cheat, it's a way of getting your point across, like how determined you are to like end the relationship.
I disagree. Because you could just end the relationship without cheating. What, is he going to force you to stay?
Do you know South African men?
Do you think being promiscuous is inherently a bad thing, or?
I think it depends on your value system and your belief system. So, truthfully, I think it doesn't add or take away anything if you don't believe it adds away or take away anything. So if you're a Christian person, then because promiscuity goes against your core beliefs, it's automatically going to be bad for you. You're going to carry that guilt, you're going to carry that shame. But if you're a person who's an atheist who believes that, sex is meaningless or, whatever line you're telling yourself, then engaging in that a lot won't have any mental or cognitive impacts. I think as long as you're engaging in it safely, so you're using protection, you're aware, then it's not harmful. But sex can be harmful, or promiscuity can be harmful if you're engaging in it like unprotected sex and you don't have an idea or there's power imbalances going on. But if you're educated, you're consenting, and it's in alignment with your own personal beliefs, then I don't think it's something that's innately harmful.
Okay. So I heard an argument today that someone said he believes society has been governing that way, or we've had that perception because women have a higher risk factor to it. Like he said, you triggered. Did you just?
No, everybody loves it. No, it's a common argument. It's a common argument, right? So, and these people, honestly, I believe, are using a primitive understanding.
Yeah.
So it's the thing that women have a higher risk of catching or being pregnant.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. If you heard what I'm saying, that if you have birth control and you have protection, then women and men are equally protected. At the end of the day, we all can contract diseases the same. So we all can contract HIV, whatever, chlamydia, the same if we're not using protection, so which is a condom. But if women are on a birth control and are, having family planning means, then this idea that, women, you don't know who the father is, whatever, it's an old societal thing. And I think if certain values from old society and we've let them go, like we've let go ideas, predominantly of polygamy, there's so many ideas we've let go of this, then as society we need to move forward beyond that. And
we've let go ideas of polygamy.
Predominantly as a society is what I mean. So yes, polygamy still exists in your traditional households and your ultra, certain religions also believe in them. But what I'm saying is that clearly human beings are society, we transform as a society. We have new norms, we have new ways of understanding things. Women traditionally had these roles in a household. Women used to just be the homemaker and the homekeeper. But if we now as society have moved above that and see women as people who are capable of holding positions in business, in politics, in medicine, in technology, then why then do we see women have a higher risk of not knowing who the father of the child is? Simply use protection, use birth control, then your risk of knowing who the father is or even having a baby to know who the father is significantly lowered. I just think it's people trying to control women.
There's nothing wrong with having a high body count. But for me personally, I would prefer my partner's body counts not be past a certain number. And me, in turn, I'll make sure my body count is not past a certain number so that it's fair.
What is that number? Hello, my brother.
How's it?
How you doing?
Good, I'm good.
Good. The question for today is, why do you think society views male and female promiscuity differently?
Well, yeah, that's true. It's a double standard.
Yeah.
I can't really point to it but probably because we see women as much more precious.
Really?
And in a way that you don't want your girl to be known. For example, you don't want your girl to be known by the block.
To be known?
By the block.
What you mean known?
You don't want your girl to be had by everybody else. She must be yours and yours only.
Yeah.
But you can be had by everybody else.
Well, that's also because men have a lot of love to give. So.
Oh, what the heck, bro? Do you think being promiscuous is inherently a bad thing or not?
I get fine with you. You only live once.
So do your stuff.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, when that is being brought up as a reason that you're not wanted, don't get shocked.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
What is a non-wanted amount for you? What if a girl tells you what number will get you whoa?
Okay, so basically I have this theory now. We come to uni. Let's say she's doing 3 years of uni. So you expect at least 4 bodies a year.
4 years, crazy.
That's what I think.
Okay, 4 years.
4 years, that's what I think.
That's 12 after she's done.
Normally, after she's done, that's 12 bodies.
Yeah.
she probably got like 2 bodies in high school. That's like 14.
Yeah.
And then she's probably gonna get like at least 6 more bodies.
6 more bodies from like what, 21 to
Corporate.
25?
Yeah. You know, somewhere around there, or another 12.
Okay.
So basically anything above 30 is crazy business.
That's interesting. And for guys?
For guys, dog.
200.
But most guys don't even get there.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
I am most guys.
I'm most guys.
We are most guys.
We're most guys. Nah, real shit. Like, guys, I don't think it matters. Because even the girls don't care. They don't even care.
Okay, type shit. Where can the people find you?
Flex was goody on all social media platforms. Tie shit. Tie shit. Tie shit.
Easy.
Tie.
Would you have a problem with having, let's say, a friend that is a female with a high body count? Would you view her any differently?
I mean, you're definitely hoeing around, aren't you?
So you're part of the problem. The way society views. So you agree with the sentiment? You think it is inherently a bad thing for girls to hoe around and guys?
Anyway, irregardless of what my personal opinion is, like, it's not good for you.
Is it both sides or just one sided to the girls?
I think it's okay if a guy has been around, really. It's okay.
Why? Why is it different when it comes to women?
Because guys can actually redeem themselves, even if you were a bad person. No, like, can you redeem yourself?
How do guys redeem themselves and girls redeem themselves? Why can guys redeem themselves and girls can't? What does redeeming yourself look like?
As in,
you came here, boy.
I know. I should have just passed, right? But I don't know. I think it's that. It's just that by principle, man. For your girl to be known, or for a girl to be known, it's just bad reputation, and it's.
No, I hear that. Yeah. I understand the rationale. Yeah. If you said it's bad holistically for both parties, I get. Yeah. But you're saying it's only bad for one side.
Oh no, I'm not saying that but I'm just saying that who's going to suffer the damage more? It's not me.
What do you mean?
You know, as in I don't have to deal with, like, there's a lot of shame that comes with a girl who's been around, right? I don't have to deal with that, you know. But of course,
you're like part of the shame and the problem.
No, but no, because I do not. I don't go out like. I don't say much. Do what you do, but when I'm observing from distance, I'm like, that doesn't look good for you.
I get what you're saying. I agree with like the principle behind it, but when you say like for a guy, I will say, aware dog, goed man. You're doing your thing. That's what there's a
no, I mean, no, I'm not. Also, don't get me wrong, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you're doing the right thing by being promiscuous. No, I'm just saying that you don't have to worry about shame.
Because you got a lot of love to give, according to you.
Oh no, that's a whole different conversation that I thought you were having, but that's not what you were having, because I thought you were about to talk about polygamy.
No.
Which is a whole different. It's a different. Which is a whole different.
About like how society perceives it and where it stems from. So I'm trying to even clock with you because you obviously share the general consensus, but you're not really sharing like the real reason.
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, you have to ask me a specific question.
No, I mean the question that you asked me.
A girl, if she had a higher body count than you.
Yes.
Would you date? What's like the limit on a girl you would date if she had a body count?
I don't want to say it because I don't. You know, the internet's bad.
I personally don't want to know.
You don't want to know?
Yes, because
I need to know.
Really? But I don't want to know. I would prefer it to be below 10.
But if the information comes to me, then...
Okay, don't give me the exact. Give me like a roundabout. Also, you need to tell me like when you
doesn't
broke your
matter.
virginity, so I could like.
You know what? I can't suss out that because I can't be a hypocrite. Because when it swings back, when they ask you what's up, you're freaking out about AIDS, and then she's like, and you? Unless maybe you behave. Maybe we're living different lives.
But personally, that's not the kind of information I'll be looking for.
I think.
But if it comes to me and I'm made aware that be careful, then I will trade carefully.
Why would you want to know actually?
I'd want to know the person you're being with. If you're like in a relationship with somebody, you must know their history. You must know if they've been around. You must know everything.
What will that do for you?
Like
You'll find what you're
me personally, I believe in like soul ties.
Yeah.
So like if your partner has like 20 bodies and you're like what 21, where did you get those 20 bodies at 21?
Hey man, people are busy, dog.
Let me not judge. I'm not slut shaming. I'm not slut shaming. There's nothing wrong with having 20 bodies.
Easy.
There's nothing wrong with having 20 bodies. But me personally, I'd like to know so I can know what I'm getting myself into.
And then would that make you leave her, or what decision would you get from?
I have a limit personally. I can't say the number, not 20, but I can't say the number. Less than that.
Or what are your thoughts on just being promiscuous as a concept?
I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it has definitely negative connotations because it's used as if it's something sneaky and something bad, but I don't think it's inherently a bad thing.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
You don't.
I mean, I feel like if you're not hurting anyone, I don't think you should really label anything as bad.
So hypothetical situation, let's say for some odd reason you like me and we're dating, weird world, right? And we're getting to know each other. You know, sussing out the vibe, and you find out like I have 80 bodies. Would that change the way you perceive me or not?
No.
Really?
No.
80 women in my bed.
Okay.
At a time.
Cool.
Really? Are you being truthful?
I am really being truthful. Yeah, I'm. Maybe it's just because it's me personally. Yeah. I don't really dwell too much on the past, because people change. Especially right now, we're so young. We change a lot. Like the person I was last year is not the same person I am today, and I can't really judge myself on who I was then versus what I know and who I am today. So I don't really judge too much on the past. So maybe that's why.
Okay, thank you so much for being on my video. What's your dream?
What's the dream?
Yeah.
Getting married young.
What's young? What age?
27.
Okay.
Hopefully if all works out, 27, get married, have a baby, you know.
Yeah. And what age are you having a baby?
God, like if I do it, if I get married this year, and God gives me a baby that same year, I'm keeping that thing. No shit.
Oh, of course you want to abort when you're married.
No.
Yeah.
No, so like as soon as I get married.
You want a baby. You're gonna be loyal to your wife.
Sorry.
Why are you thinking that?
I didn't think. You know, I'm kind of slow. So
Okay,
I'm slow with my response.
Maybe switch off the camera for your real answer.
Yeah, now switch it off.